J. Paul's life was staring at him at the end of a gun barrel. It's an amazing turnaround story that talks about reaching into others' lives.
A very cool thing happened on camera. We got to sit down with two brothers. Tedashii is the mentor and accountability partner for his brother J. Paul, who mercifully is still with us today. That amazing story here in just a second. We're going to get to see discipleship on camera.
Well, I was raised in church, but never really just gave my life to the Lord. So at the youth service on a Wednesday night, I was acting out. The youth pastor called me out, told me to leave, and I left. And after that, a few days later, I had a gun pulled on me, and the trigger was pulled and nothing came out. And at that time, I was reminded of what the youth pastor, one of the youth pastors, well, the assistant youth pastor came to talk to me after I was kicked out of the service. He came to talk to me, and he shared the gospel with me, and I really didn't listen at that time. So at the time that the trigger was pulled, I was reminded of that day 2 days ago, and went back to him on that Sunday, and had a chance to sit down and actually hear the gospel and talk to him and prayed with him, and that was the day I accepted the Lord. Now I live in Denton, Texas, and I'm close to my guy here, Tedashii, and some other guys that are in Denton. And Tedashii is closely pouring into me. Like I'm pretty much at his house almost every day. So I'm there hanging out, seeing him, how he is with family, and also digging into Bible studies and going through the Word and all this stuff. So just discipleship, just life on life.
Another artist on the label by the name of Trip Lee. Trip Lee and J. Paul knew one another from growing up. They knew one another from doing youth camps and just being a part of different churches that would go to similar functions, the same function. So they knew one another for a while. And so we met, J. Paul, myself, Lecrae, Show, other guys. We met him because we all knew Trip. So for us, we grew up in a culture where, like you said, fatherless. I had a stepfather for a time. I can commend those type of men who can go into a home and say, this isn't my biological child, but this is my son. You know, and so I had a stepfather for a time, and if nothing else, knew that at least there should be a man in the home. I could feel the difference when there wasn't one and when there was. And so just growing up in that idea, as I got older, I was looking for a father figure. I didn't really have one, and God used those in the body, older and young, mature in the faith, more so than I was. And those brothers challenged me, poured into me. They got on my tail when they needed to get on my tail. They were definite as far as their role and responsibility to the Lord as they walked out life with me. So from the church, yeah.